When you start a massive wave of punch a Nazi sentiment, this is where it ends up. U.S. Army veteran planned to bomb Nazi rally, and just like many other terrorists, this guy probably thought in his head that he was the good guy, and what he was doing was completely justified. A US Army veteran has been arrested while he was in the final stages of a plan to bomb a white supremacist rally in California. Say authorities, fucking hell, California has white supremacists? that's, that's actually quite surprising. Muslim convert Mark Domingo, 26, also allegedly plotted terror attacks on Jews, churches, and police in revenge for the New Zealand mosque shootings. Why the Jews? I forgot that a lot of the left wingers also, the far left. I forgot that a lot of the far lefties also believe in the same Zionist plot that the far right believe in. He was held on Friday after accepting what he believed to be a live bomb delivered by undercover officers. Mr. Domingo had expressed support for violent jihad, says prosecutors. According to court documents, the former infantryman with combat experience in Afghanistan took steps to build and detonate a weapon of mass destruction. He fought in Afghanistan and then converted to Islam. That's some fucking homeland shit. The investigation successfully disrupted a very real threat posed by a trained combat soldier who repeatedly stated he wanted to cause the maximum number of casualties, said federal prosecutor Nick Hanna in a statement on Monday. Wow, what a charming and lovely fellow. What a very tolerant man. In online posts and in conversations with an FBI source, posing as an accomplice, Mr. Domingo expressed a desire to seek retribution for the March attacks on two mosques in Christchurch, New Zealand, and other attacks against Muslims. He allegedly expressed a willingness to become a martyr in an attack. See, that's the only problem with attacks like that, is all they do is radicalise the victims. All they do is radicalise the victims and basically make them want retribution. You know, I've been saying the same thing for a while about the Iraq and Afghanistan war. You know, the insurgents that you're killing, at the end of the day, they most likely have children. If a child learns that their father or their family or anyone like that was killed by US armed forces, well, there you go. You've got another terrorist. that kid is going to grow up wanting revenge. That's just the way it is, and it's sad. It's pretty fucking sad, but that is just the way it goes. And the same thing would have happened if this guy was successful and managed to bomb a white supremacist rally. That could have just served to radicalise white supremacists. That probably could have resulted in even more attacks. Oh, fucking hell, man. I remember I used to roll my eyes at any of those loonies that would go, Civil War is coming, the race war is coming. I used to roll my eyes at that shit, but I'm not rolling my eyes so much anymore. According to authorities, Mr. Domingo considered targets including Jewish people, churches, police officers before settling on the Long Beach rally. A far-right group had planned a march on Sunday at Bluff Park in Long Beach, though they did not show up. Anti-racism counter-demonstrators did, however, attend. Shit. So it could have been fucking them that got it. Fucking hell. The idea to target the Long Beach event was allegedly discussed during a meeting on the 19th of April between Mr. Domingo and the FBI agent. Mr. Domingo arrived at the meeting with an AK-47 style rifle to show he was serious about his plans, said prosecutors. The AK-47, a staple of any armed revolution. He also allegedly mentioned the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing and said he wanted a device that could cause 50 casualties. That's oddly specific. Mr. Domingo also allegedly contemplated bombing the Santa Monica Pier, where he said a summer attack on the crowded tourist spot would cause maximum casualties. This guy was just interested in killing. I'm not really seeing a lot about him wanting to, further his cause or anything like that. He just says, I want to be a martyr and I want to kill as many innocent people as possible. Because if he wanted to bomb the pier, that would have just been families out, like, playing in the sun. Why the fuck would you want to do that? I mean, the white supremacist rally, I can at least in some aspect understand. But, like, why families? Fucking piece of shit. Prosecutors say he referred to the October 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas. By the way, just to be clear, I don't condone fucking bombing of anyone, right? Even white supremacists, just in case people fucking misread me. To the October 2017 mass shooting in Las Vegas, the deadliest such attack in modern US history. It left 58 dead as a blueprint for his own assault. And we still don't have any answers to many questions about that, but I'll just move on. He posted online that America needs another Vegas event in order to give them a taste of the terror they gladly spread all over the world, said prosecutors. Well, that was terror that you took part in by serving in Afghanistan. According to court documents, once Mr. Domingo determined the location of his attack, he worked with the FBI source to find a bomb maker. The suspect planned to plant homemade explosive devices made with nail-filled pressure cookers that would be remotely triggered or detonated by a timer. He allegedly purchased several hundred nails meant to be used as shrapnel inside the improvised explosive device. Domingo said he specifically bought 3-inch nails because they would be long enough to penetrate the human body and puncture internal organs. Jesus. In discussions with the FBI agent, Mr. Domingo allegedly claimed that if the Islamic State were to come to the US, he would swear allegiance to the group. On Thursday, after purchasing the nails, Mr. Domingo allegedly sent a message to the undercover agent indicating that the bombing was to proceed. The FBI operative then delivered several inert devices, which Mr. Domingo purportedly believed to be weapons of mass destruction. Authorities say that Mr. Domingo had travelled to Long Beach to inspect the site of the bombing when he was taken into custody. In a joint statement, federal authorities celebrated the thwarting of the alleged attack and said there was no outstanding threat to the public. If convicted, Mr. Domingo could face a maximum sentence of 15 years in federal prison. See, for literally planning a fucking bombing, and the way the US justice system works, 15 years is an extremely low fucking sentence, considering some of the sentences that they have. But I mean, yeah, fucking. This is the point that we've arrived to. You are actually getting people now who want to carry out terrorist attacks. There are a lot of people in the far left who believe the same things about Jews that the far right believe. You know, my horseshoe. And they feel completely justified in what they were doing. I will say that Islam probably played a massive part in the way this guy and what this guy wanted to do. I wouldn't say it's mostly far left ideology, although a lot of them do think like that. A lot of them do think that it's okay to punch Nazis, murder Nazis, all this type of stuff. And that's what they believe. But I still hold true to the fact that you should still debate bad ideas. If you turn to violence, if your ideology has to turn to violence, then in my eyes it's a failed ideology. Because the only way that bad ideas can win is through violence. That's the only way that they can win. Have you not noticed that the vast majority of people who turned violent was because people rejected their bad idea because it was a bad idea. So instead they resorted to being violent to push their idea through. And that's all this is. That's all this is. It's much better to debate ideas. I mean, see, like, I keep citing this as an example. Nick Griffin, on Question Time, literally killed the BNP, and they became absolutely fucking irrelevant as a result. They became completely fucking irrelevant. Which is why I don't understand why people don't do it more. I mean, if there's someone who has an idea that you don't like, host a giant public debate with them. Like, I want them to happen more. Like, fucking, I've only watched like the first half an hour, but I was watching the Jordan Peterson and Zizek debate, and it's brilliant. Apart from the crowd, see the crowd fucking screaming and cheering every 3 fucking seconds is actually really starting to piss me off. But I'm going to watch the rest of it probably later on tonight. But see stuff like that, healthy disagreement. Like, even if you look at Dave Rubin and Ben Shapiro having a chat with each other, healthy disagreement. I just wish so much that everyone could be like that. I just wish everyone could be like that. We disagree, but let's be friends. Like, that's... I just want everything to be like that. I don't want any manner of politics or any ideology to result in violence. Because you see one thing that I believe as well, and I think this is coming. See how whenever there is any kind of political demonstration, well, not any, but ones pertaining to specific subjects, whenever there's any kind of political demonstration around specific subjects, you'll get your protesters and you'll get your counter-protesters, and it might be made up of Antifa and all these other people. And violence ensues, you know, everyone starts fighting each other, the riot police have to come in, etc., etc. I have an inkling, and I've felt this for a while, that the state is going to use that as an excuse to take away protests. I've felt that coming for a while. Basically, oh yes, you know, you can still, you know, talk about political things, etc., etc. But the actual protests are getting too violent now, and for the safety of people, we now need to take away your right to protest. I've smelt that coming. You know, my authoritarian senses are tingling. I have smelt that coming for a while, and basically, if we get our right to protest taken away, we are fucked. And I'm saying this as someone who gets protested a lot. I'm worried that the violent elements in any type of protest are going to be the ones that ruin it for everybody else, and we're going to lose the right to protest, which is something that we desperately fucking need to make the state hear our voice and hold them accountable. So that's why things like this really, really worry me, because it's a perfect excuse to take protest away. I really, really hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong on that. But I don't think I am.